Hello and welcome to our PowerPoint on probability and the addition rule. This is done by Group A, Zach, Chris, Daniel, and Zachary, and it is narrated by Chris. So let's get started. What is probabilities? Because to understand this, first you have to understand what probabilities are. Probabilities are a chance. They're usually described as a percentage of an event occurring. Always has a numerical value between 0 and 1. All possible outcomes equal 1 is another value in this. And the more data that you have, the more accurate the probability becomes. If you flip a coin, 50% chance yes, 50% chance no. Those are the only two outcomes. If you flip 100 coins, you might not get 50-50, but every time you flip a coin, it's 50% chance yes, 50% chance no. Basic example of a probability. You see this graph here. 150 people bought a new microwave. 120 people recommended it. So the probability that if we pick a random person who bought this microwave, that they would recommend it, would be 120 people who recommended it divided by 150 people who bought it, or 0.8, which would be 80% of the people who bought the product recommended it. Now, the complement rule is that the complement rule finds the opposite. So P complement of A would equal 1 minus the probability. So to find the complement, you would find the probability, which is 80%, and then 1 minus 0.8. So the people who would not recommend it, or all the other possible outcomes except for recommended, if you had 3 or more outcomes, would be 20%. All right, so to understand the addition rule, first you have to understand what mutually exclusive means. Mutually exclusive event, also known as disjoint, is events that cannot occur together. So for example, in this, a package cannot arrive on time and not arrive on time. You can't flip a coin and it come up heads and come up tails. That is what mutually exclusive means. It's two events that cannot occur together. And now on to the addition rule. This is what our assignment is on. The addition rule measures the probability of both mutually exclusive or non-mutually exclusive events occurring. And this is a event A or event B occurring out of a possibility of events. Basically, it's adding probabilities. So if it's a mutually exclusive event, I use here, for example, rolling a 6-sided dice. It's the most basic event possible. If you roll a 1, there's a 1/6 chance of you rolling a 1 on a 6-sided dice. There's a 1/6 chance of you rolling a 3. Now, to roll a 1 or a 3, let's say you win if you roll a 1 or a 3, you would add the two together. So it would just be 1/3. So when it comes to mutually exclusive events, the addition rule is literally just straight A plus B, the probabilities of them together. Now, when they're non-exclusive, that's where it starts to get a little harder. So let's move on to the next slide. All right, so here's the addition rule when they are non-exclusive. So in this case, there are 25 dogs in the puppy training class, 12 males, 13 females. Out of the class, 7 dogs, 3 males, 4 females pass with the highest honors. So we want to find what percentage of the dogs are female or pass with the highest honors. So PA or B equals PA plus PB minus PA and B together. That's the equation for finding this. So it would be PA would be female. So 13 female dogs out of the 25 dogs. So 13 over 25. PB, which is B is the highest honors, would be 7 dogs graduated with the highest honors. So that'd be 7 over 25. Add those two together, minus PA and B, which is 4 females dogs who pass with the highest honors. And that would cause you to have 16 over 25, or 0.64, which is 64%. If you randomly picked a puppy out of this litter of puppies in this training class, you would have a 64% chance of picking a dog who was female or one with the highest honor. Thank you very much.